Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first. I have a good rack, but I don't have a bingo. I'm going to play FAE. My preference is for short words and the rack leave is really good. Now, this looks pretty close to a bingo. Do I have one? If one of the I's was an E, I would have some team. I've got the IC ending, but I can't see a 7 ending IC. And I don't have any floaters provided by my opponent. ZA and EF are unlikely two-letter combinations for a bingo. And I can't see one through them. So, how to resolve this rack? I don't have anything which goes after ZA. My M can go underneath the E of Fae. So, I could just play my. If I play anything else, it's not going to score very much, and it's going to provide floaters and access to a triple word square. Only 14 points, so can I do better? Probably not. I don't have anything which goes in front of the B, and nothing goes in front of ZA. So the only thing which would be better than this, which is possible, is if I have a bingo. Now, there is one floater I haven't considered, which is the E of Fae, a word beginning with the E. It would certainly be annoying to miss a bingo. And it's good to get one early because it establishes a lead. Okay, well, I can't see a bingo beginning with the E. Not a good rack. I pick up a G and a V. I do have the ING ending. Through an O, I would have coveting. That's the only 8 I can see. Vig would sort out the rack. I was just thinking about maybe playing Mick or Mice last go to stop my opponent playing in row J or to restrict him. Ah, look at this. Fantastic. It's not a bingo, but it is a double-double, and I wasn't expecting one of those. This is going to score quite well and sort the rack out. Vetting 44 points. Fantastic. Now, that looks pretty good. I don't think in colour is good. It looks really close to a bingo. Orsinol, I have Orsinol. And that plays in column 11, making MIR. And it may also play in row J. EM takes, well, just an O after it. Okay, so I don't have it in row J. And there's not too many openings on this board, so my opponent could obstruct my current spot, which would be a shame. I don't think Orsinol has got any anagrams. On to a G, I would have colouring or crueling. The G of vetting is not in the right spot. But, well, look at this. I can play Orsinol in column 11, but colouring is going to score, well, about the same. But I think colouring is better because it provides fewer floaters for my opponent. Colouring 74. Not good in that I have the U and the V together, but I do have a scoring tile in the J. And I've got plenty of vowels, and the big tiles J, Q, X and Z all go well with a lot of vowels, so the vowel consonant balance on this rack is fine. Now, is there anywhere fabulous for my J? I can play J-U-N at A8 down onto the N of colouring. That's going to score 30 points and split up the U-V combo. What about placing my J at A4 and playing down onto the double word square at D4 underneath the L of colouring? Well, I can do that with Joel. That's 38 points. That's been blocked. Jun has also been blocked. MO does take an E in front. So, do I have a 5-letter play using any of the tiles on my rack that ends with E? I don't think I do. So my opponent has inadvertently wrecked all of my prospects. Juve is good, J-U-V-E. Ah, and there's a nice spot for that down here. And this plays off the U and the V, which is good. What's also good about this, it scores well, is that I'm opening up a hotspot in row K for vowels going underneath the J, which is a nice counterbalance to the hotspot available at A1, which I'm leaving open. Plus also column 8, beginning with the V of Juve, looks quite good. If I could play Voyage, for example, that would be a pretty good score. Well, that wishful thinking didn't pay off. I don't have a G. And this isn't a bingo-y rack. I have one scoring tile in the Y, and I have too many vowels. So play of A. Ah, I have Voyeur, V-O-Y-E-U-R. Fantastic. That does play through the V of Juve. I hope that stays available. It does. Fantastic. And, well, there's so much right with this play. Gets rid of the U, scores well. 48 points, fabulous. But I still don't draw either of the blanks, and this rack is atrocious. 2 A's and 3 I's. Certainly don't deserve that. Now, what can I do about it? Is it bad enough to change? I think I would certainly be looking to play off 2 I's as a minimum. I've got an A for going underneath the J. And my H can go next to the O of ISO. But I think the best I can do there is just HI. 20 points. And what about the C of colouring? What I'm doing is trying to find a play which plays off 2 I's. 2 A's I can live with, 2 I's I can't. Well, only 11 points for my opponent. Ah, yep, I've got one. Jihadi. This is actually going to score more than I was expecting to achieve with this rack, and it pretty much sorts the rack out. In fact, it plays off all the tiles I drew. So this is the same rack leave as I had after Voyeur. So Jihadi, 21 points. I don't think there's going to be anything better. Great, well that's a more normal looking rack. I don't have a bingo, but I should be able to sort it out, and I've got good scoring tiles in the K and the P. And both of those tiles can play in front of the first I of Jihadi. But my I doesn't go next to the H, so I can't play Kip. I could play Kep. Well, my opponent's gone there. I just spotted that Puke played in that spot. Puke also plays in column 11, making op. Rack leave of AIN. Not the best, not the worst. Now, I don't have anything which goes in front of DA in row M. I think it's just an O which goes there, so I can't put my P in front of AH. 14 minutes left on the clock, 36 tiles left. Now, what about A1? Do I have a 5-letter word ending in an E? Or with E in second last place? Well, looking at this rack, you would think that I would have. Now, I've got, gosh, I think this is right, Pi-Core down here. I hope I'm not confusing this with Pi-Law, which is definitely good. Rack leave is good. 30 points is good. I'm turning over a lot of tiles, which is good, with 2 blanks left. My only doubt about this is if this is no good. Let's find out. Still no blank. I'm looking in row 8 as if I've got a 5-letter word ending in an E. Well, I've got prone. It doesn't place one of my high-scoring tiles on the double letter square, which is what would generate a really good score. 29 points, so that's not bad. I'm 140 points ahead, so if I can keep scoring in the high 20s, early 30s at least, then I'm in good shape. I don't think I've got a 7 or an 8-letter bingo through any floater with this rack. So do I play prone, keeping FN? Not a great rack leave. Can I do better? What about the A of Pi-Core? Can I place my F on that? Fanon's good. And that's keeping the E. Now, there are quite a few E's to come, but PRE is a pretty good rack leave. And there are 3 S's and 2 blanks unseen, so the Fanon's hook makes column 15 hot, but I'm keeping the E for going in front of MO in row A. So this is a nice play. Praline and Perlin. Do I have anywhere for them to play? Through an E, I would have perineal. Great, I do have a spot for Perlin and Praline in column 14. So my opponent's bingo is going to be immediately countered, which is what I like to do, if I can. Now, any reason not to play Praline? I don't think so. I don't think there are any better bingo lanes to consider. Now, one of the blanks has gone, but one is still out there. So Praline plays here for 74. If I played any lower, which I could do because IS, NO and EL are good, then the play wouldn't get doubled. So this is certainly the optimum placement. Great, there it is, the second blank. And do I have a bingo? I'm going to be close. I'm going to be close. Dry Ades. Gosh, not sure about that. But where are the bingo lanes? Well, there's the C and O of colouring. Vetting. That's one of those strange words which I think doesn't take an S, but might take an S. For some reason that's staying in my mind, and I think it's in my mind because it's one of those words which every time it comes up I guess that it takes an S and it doesn't. And then once I've got it right a few times I get it wrong again and it goes back to card box 0. And it's a word I'll have looked at over 100 times but still aren't sure of. Anyway, I haven't seen a play which can use the Vetting's hook. Dryades certainly doesn't. Now I have a 140 point lead, which is pretty good with only 8 tiles left. The letters in praline may allow a parallel play. So column 13 is available and column 12 is available for possible 7-letter plays, and then columns 2 and 3 are available for plays through the C and the O. Now, what's the best way of approaching this? I've got 10 minutes left. I think I'll look for a 7 first. Well, that's Dryades, if it's good. That doesn't play in column 13 or 12. This shouldn't take too long because it's likely to be just the vowels that work. So, anything here? Can't see anything. Ah, shreddy. Pretty sure shreddy's good. Does that play? It doesn't play in column 12. What about column 13? Nope, doesn't play there. Can't see anything with the I. What about the O? No, that doesn't look remotely promising. Ah, what about Drost D? Okay, that doesn't use my E, that's no good. Now the U is the final vowel. Do I have anything here? No, I don't think so. Okay, so I can't see a 7 that plays. What about through the C of colouring? Probably only need to consider vowels. So an A, no. An E, well, possibly described, not sure about that. Nope. Nope. And this is the one I was thinking, well, I think it fleetingly occurred to me, scuddery. Scuddery. Well, certainly not sure enough of that to try it. What about through the O? And the blank certainly could be a consonant here, but it just, well, I don't think there is one there. So this is a pretty good rack. I can hang on to the blank, play off a D and a Y, and maybe have a bingo next go. And it would be good to play off a small number of tiles because the Q's out there and that would wreck the bingoiness of this rack. So, is there somewhere for my D and my Y? Well, I could play dies in row H, but for not many points. Yod in column 3, but I'm taking out good floaters. I still don't have an O, well, because there aren't any left. We're going in front of DA. Only 7 minutes on the clock. Only 2 E's left, so I'd like to hang on to my E. Wow, not easy. I could play decry at A2 down. 22 points, keeping SD blank. Or what I could do is this. In fact, even better, doi. And what this achieves is it stops my opponent from playing at A1, a 5-letter word with an E, and he could play quite across there. And the C is still available as a floater for me. Okay, really not sure what's best here, but I think I'm going to go with this. Well, I have... He did have the Q, and I didn't spot that place for it, so well done to my opponent for that. 49 points. He's exactly 100 points behind. So, do I have anything beginning with the C of colouring? I don't think so. Do I have a 7-letter word? Screwed and decrews, neither of those plays in column 12 or column 13. I only need to consider vowels. That was the decrews spot. Nothing there. I don't think there is going to be anything here. C and W are not scouter. Okay, that doesn't play anywhere. And then the U. Nope, nothing there. Now I've only got 5 minutes left. 4 tiles left. I could do with playing off 3 of them. The priority is the W. So is there anywhere good for my W? Well, this has been quite a quiet end to the game. Where can I place my W on this board? Gosh, not easy. I'm reluctant to play off my E in case I draw another consonant. But it feels wrong to play the W for just a tiny score. Now I'm looking in row D to see if I can play... well, I can play WOD across here. 19 points. That's okay, and I'm setting up a nice hook because of SWOD. I'm taking out my bingo lanes, but I think they were unlikely ones. So I'm really, in terms of bingos, I've just got column 2, but look at my rack leave, it's pretty promising, so I may have something. Okay, so do I have something? I feel that I do. I've only got 3 minutes on my clock. The only bingo lane is beginning with the C. Well, it doesn't have to begin, but going through the C of colouring. So I am talking about having 2 C's in the word. My opponent's taken that out. So that destroys my bingo prospects. Okay, well, I think I'm still going to win the game. But it's a shame. This is an amazingly bingo-y set of tiles. I'm just looking around in case there's a bingo lane. Well, I guess it's just row O. Now, do I have carriers? Actually, no, I'm looking for a 9, so that's not going to work. But supposing I had a word ending IERS, do I have something here? 5 letters beginning at 01. Gosh, there could well be. I think I'll spend a minute looking for it. Haven't seen anything yet. Still nothing. Still nothing. Nope. Nope. Okay, well, that was a nice thought, but there's nothing there that I can see. So I think I'll just play down here. This is nice. When I'm really short on time, it's nice to have an easy, high-scoring play available. So cars and sword 34, i.e. blank. I'm sure there's plenty of places for that. But I need to find one and hopefully the best. Well, I've got GN in column 11. I'm wondering if I have anything in row D. The first 3 squares in that row, but I can't see anything. My opponent's got 12 minutes left. I can see his rack. Okay. So, what do I do with this rack? I've got 40 seconds to play out. I can play dice in row A. And I think I am inclined to play that because I am so short on time. Definitely a winning play. But I'm sure it's not the best play. We'll find out in a moment. Just waiting for my opponent to formally end the game. And that's the end of the game. The final score, 327 to my opponent, 455 to me. A winning margin of 128 points. So, quite a comfortable win. Let's see what I missed. Oh, I didn't spot that. My opponent played NES as a phony, so I let him get away with that. Now, it was me to go first. And, well, that was the option of 5-letter play, scoring 20 points. I prefer taking even a 12-point hit, but to have 4 good tiles in my rack cleave. Great, I didn't miss a bingo here, and it was a choice between playing... Well, the choice really was between playing MI, MIC, MICE, or a longer word, metic or mince. And there are merits in either. The longer the word, the better the score, but the poorer the rack cleave. Now, this is where vetting came to my rescue. And there is Arsenal. It scored 1 more point than colouring, but I prefer colouring because of the fewer floaters available for my opponent. And J6 Juve, that was my play. And Voyeur was a nice 48-point play. Now, this is where I played Jihadi for 21, and Hin was available, making Maxi. That's the spot where my opponent later played Chin, but a rack cleave of 2 A's and 2 I's I don't think is good. You can reckon on a duplicate tile damaging your rack cleave by 5 points, so 2 duplicates probably damage it by more than 10, and that fully accounts for the difference in score between Hin and Jihadi, so I think Jihadi is a better play. Now, Picor, that was my play. And this is where I was thinking about playing Prone and chose Fanon, and I think Fanon is best. My opponent bingos. Let's see what bingos he had. Well, a whole bunch of them, but all in the same spot. And this is where I had praline at B14. So it's good to reply to a bingo with a bingo. Now, did I have something here? No, I didn't. A12. Ah, well, there you go. Vettings is good. Yerds was playable at A12 for 38 points, keeping blank D. What did I do? Ah, well, Doi for 7. Was a 31-point sacrifice worth it? Probably not, but I wasn't sure of vettings. I think Doi is a bad play. It's taking out 2 floaters when I've got a really bingo-y rack, so I think that was a poor move. Dyad was available at D12. Ah, well, that's the spot. Row D, making weed. I think that was probably... Well, it's not necessarily the play, because that in itself is taking out 2 bingo lanes. This was the problem with this rack, trying to play without taking out bingo lanes. And I don't know what the best move was. So, what did I have here? Well, I didn't have a bingo. And this is where I did take advantage of that wee hook. Now, I think I did have something here. Let's find out. There it is. Spageric at B11. Oh, wow, that's a bingo lane I didn't think about. Column 11, going through the G of vetting, I could have played Spageric, and that's making 4 additional words. Hoa, TE, OR, and Mike. So, well done indeed if you spotted that. I certainly didn't. What I did was play cars down there. And finally, I could have got 16 at K12 for E-lint. Ah, very nice, making Ope, Kai, and Ut. And instead, I got almost nothing for dice. But it was a winning play and a comfortable winning margin. So that was a good game to play. I think I was at a reasonable leave all the way through, and I was fortunate that when my opponent bingoed, I was able to come back. And also, when I had a bad rack, I had the opportunity of playing vetting and also jihadi. So a nice range of racks there to consider. So I hope you enjoyed watching that and got something out of it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.